Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your boy Matt Retro25, and today I get to bring y'all my favorite video. I love doing this video. This is me ranking my top 25 sneakers of 2025. First of all, I want to say thank y'all for rocking with me. I pray that y'all go into 2026 real blessed, and I hope that y'all 2025 went well. And if there's other goals and other things that y'all didn't get to achieve in 2025, I really hope that y'all are able to achieve those things and had a mindset to get those things done in 2026. So thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for checking out the content. And yeah, I'm super, super excited to get into this. So I'm going to keep this intro a little bit short because, there's 25 sneakers we got to go over, y'all. So I'm super excited to do this video for y'all. Y'all know I'm hyped for this video because I already ranked the OG Jordans. I already ranked the Kobe's. I already ranked the LeBrons. I already ranked the Jordan 4s and the Jordan 5s that came out this year. But there's still some shoes in here that I haven't done a video for. So I'm super hyped to get into this with y'all. I'm super excited to spend my New Year's Eve with y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. And like I said, I pray everything goes good for y'all in the year 2026. Let's get into the video. All right, y'all, to start the video off, I'm starting with the Air Jordan 8 Aqua. This is coming in at that number 25 spot. I'm going to be kind of quick with this because it's 25 shoes. I'm not trying to have a video be like 30 minutes long, so I'll be pretty quick with it. But yeah, coming in at that number 25 spot is that Air Jordan 8 Aqua. It was already on my top 10 retros of the year. So yeah, this shoe definitely had to make the list. All right, y'all, coming in at the number 24 spot is the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air. I definitely think this was a sleeper of the year and one of the most slept on Air Jordans, but one of the best Air Jordans. I love how they did these Jordan 11s, and you can't go wrong. So I got this coming in at the number 24 spot. All right, y'all, coming in at that number 23 spot is the Kobe 9 Moonwalker. One of the best colorways to come out all year. One of the best Kobe's to come out all year. And yeah, love this shoe. Got it coming in at the number 23 spot. All right, y'all, coming in at that number 22 spot is the Air Jordan 4 A Ma Maniére Dark Mocha. This shoe is a banger, y'all. Premium material, great story behind the shoe. I love this shoe, and I took these over the Cave Stones by like a country mile. This shoe is fan-freaking-tastic and one of the best shoes to come out of 2025. Super happy to have it a part of the collection. I know it dropped late, but I had to have this shoe. And yeah, this is coming in at the number 22 spot. All right, y'all, coming in at that number 21 spot is the Jordan 12 Flu Game. I love this shoe. What I can say about this shoe is this is my first pair of 12s. Man, I was so happy to get these in the collection. I missed out on them the last time, and these definitely made it on my top retro videos of 2025. So Jordans, I mean. And yeah, this shoe definitely deserves to be in the collection. And this is the number 21 shoe on the list. All right, y'all, coming in at that number 20 spot is the Air Jordan 10 Shadow. Super dope shoe. Didn't think I would love this shoe as much as I did. But like I said in my retro video, it's just the uppers, the material. And then like I saw somebody rocking them on feet and I was like, yo, gotta get a pair. So yeah, super happy to have this shoe in the collection, and this is number 20 on the list. All right, y'all, coming in at number 19 spot is the LeBron 21 Prime 96. Yeah, 96. This is a fire shoe, turns heads. Had to put this shoe on the list. One of the best shoes to come out of 2025, and definitely, very, very, very dope, and one of the best LeBrons to drop this year. I had a top 3 on my other list. All right, y'all, coming in at that number 18 spot, I got the Air Jordan 1 Union Chicago. I freaking love these. These are dope. One of the best pickups of the year. Very good quality. Union always do their thing, or does their things on these Jordan 1 releases. And I think they really killed this one. I love this shoe. Wish I could have put it a little higher, but there's just so much other shoes that, I think really did a good job this year. Coming in at number 17 is the Air Jordan 5 Awake in that racer blue colorway. Very dope shoe. Love the collab. Awake did their things. Y'all know how I had these ranked on my Air Jordan 5 list. of 2025. And yeah, this is a very dope shoe, very clean colorway, stands out, very sought after at the time, and harder to get actually than the pink pair. The pink pair is more expensive, but these are still very nice, very dope quality. Coming in at that number 16 spot, y'all, is the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo. You know, these are dope. No one ever thought we were going to get this shoe. So shout out to Jordan Brand for dropping a shoe like this year. Especially this being the sample pair. They even made sure they threw the Tokyo branding on the side of the Air Jordan 5. And I really think they did this shoe justice. Quality control on the shoe is pretty good. I know it was a very limited release, but man, I love this shoe, and I'm so happy that these shoes came out. It's one of those last minute shoes, but I still respect the dopeness behind it. Jordan Brand really did some dope things with the shoes that they dropped this year, and I think the Tokyos were one of those shoes. And I got those coming in at the number 16 spot. All right, y'all, coming in at that number 15 spot is that Air Jordan 5 Grape. Love this shoe. Love how they got the shape right on this shoe. Love how they put that Nike Air on the back. Man, they killed this shoe. Very deservingly at number 15. I wish I could have put it higher because I love the grapes. And the grapes are one of the best Air Jordan colorways of all time. Definitely one of the most iconic. But yeah, I got these coming in at that number 15 spot. All right, y'all. Coming in at that number 14 spot, I had to put respect on the name of the Air Jordan 1 Shattered Backboards. Man, if you would have asked me at the beginning of the year and going into this year, this would have been my number one sneaker of 2025. The only thing I'll say is it's just not as good as the OG pair. The OG pair that they dropped, it was just to me slightly better. I love how they did do these though. I love these. Wish I could have put them higher if they would have came out like exactly like those OG pair. This is sneaker of the year. But the mid panel across the shoes not as dark. It's a different leather here. It's just different. The tumbleness is a little bit different, and it just don't have that feel and that, you know, emotional attachment that I had. If you're curious about like why I love this shoe and why it's my favorite shoe, then go watch me, you know, going through my whole Air Jordan 1 collection that I dropped earlier this year. This shoe is still very dope. Love this shoe. Really, really, really love this shoe. Still one of the best shoes to come out of 2025. Super slept on. I know Air Jordan 1 hype is dying, but in my opinion, this is one of the best shoes, especially when it comes to just Jordan Brand and Air Jordans coming out this year. I love this shoe, and I might actually change my mind later down the line and say these are better than some of the other shoes that I have higher up on this list. But yeah, I got these coming at the number 14 spot. All right, y'all. Coming in at unlucky 13 is the Black Cat Air Jordan 4. Love this shoe. This shoe was dope, man. And for the streets love this shoe. When this shoe dropped, the streets loved it. It went crazy, y'all. Like, I remember I got exclusive access on Finish Line, and even with exclusive access, the app crashed. I got in like 30 minutes late, and it still sold out in my size. I think the only size they had was 8.5 and something else. So I picked these up from Soul Priorities. But yeah, I got the Black Cat Air Jordan 4 coming in at 13. All right, y'all. Coming in at number 12 is the Air Jordan 1 Travis Scott Fragment. These are the new Fragment Travis Scotts. These are nice. They're dope. The quality is insane. The leather is insane. I actually hit these on the Travis Scott raffle, which was crazy in itself. Very dope to have a shoe in the collection. Love the shoe. And I've gotten all the other Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 lows, so to continue that collection and to continue to pick up these Travis Scotts and collect them is very, very dope. So I got these coming in at the number 12 spot. All right, y'all, coming in at that number 11 spot, and which I think is hilarious for it to come in at the number 11 spot, is the Air Jordan 11 Gamma. These are dope. These are clean. I was one of those people in the beginning. I was like, yo, I don't really know how I feel about these. I always thought the Space Jams were better, and I still think the Space Jams are better. Don't get me wrong, but I respect this shoe. This shoe is nice. Well, I didn't realize how much this shoe was fire until I won it from Dick's Sporting Goods and like had it in my hand. I was looking at it. I was like, yo, these are insane. Quality's dope. I love the high patent upper, and then they did the Jumpman justice with that Gamma Blue 11 Jumpman. People have been wanting these forever. I didn't get it at first, but now I'm glad that these came out, and these are super dope shoe. Very happy to have these in the collection, and they're coming in at the number 11 spot. All right, y'all. Coming in at that number 10 spot is the Air Jordan 5 Awake NYC. These joints is heat, boy. These are phenomenal. One of the best collabs to come out of 2025. These were insane. I hit these on the EQL app. I hit them on the EQL app, but from the Awake website. So super dope to have this shoe in the collection. It is so clean. The leather is fantastic. It made the streets go crazy when it came out. It started off at like $800, but it's never really about the resale for me. It's always about how dope the shoe is. And the attention to detail to the shoe is fantastic. I love the Nike Air on the back, the big Awake branding going across the midfoot and across that netting. And then I love how they got the Awake on the tongue. It's just so different. And I thought I would like the Racer Blue more, but once I got these, I was like, yeah, it's these right here. It's these right here. So yeah, I got these coming in at number 10. All right, y'all. Coming in at that number 9 spot, I have the Kobe 8 What The. It just speaks for itself. Speaks for itself. Kobe 8 What The. Speaks for itself. Has to be on the list. Big time Kobe shoe. A lot of people would probably make this a top 3 Kobe colorway of all time. There's not really a lot of other shoes that got better colorways than this. The only Kobe's I know for a fact that people would probably put above this is the Grinch. Then everything else after that is arguable, because this is one of the greatest Kobe's to ever drop all time. The only thing I'll say is I wish I would have went up a half size in these, because these mugs is tight. But yeah, I got the Kobe 8 What The coming in at number 9. All right, y'all. Coming in at that number 8 spot is one of the most fire shoes I've ever seen. I put them both here because they're both a part of the same pack, but this is the LeBron Immortalized pack. Super dope. Deserves to be up here in the top 10. One of the best to come out. How they did the release, how limited this shoe was, the overall packaging of the shoe, the story that it commemorates, and it's something that I got to actually witness as I watch, basketball, to be a part of. This is a dope shoe. LeBron won the Olympic MVP in this shoe, and he wore both of these shoes throughout the game. And I remember when these came out, I was like, yo, or when he debuted them during the game, I was like, yo, those are tough. I can't wait for these to drop. And Nike, they pulled the trigger and they actually dropped them. Super limited release. They dropped on Foot Locker and they sold out very quick. And I'm so happy that I got my hands on them, because I just kept pressing the button, and I was able to get through to get the shoes. So very rare W on Foot Locker's actual website, or I don't think it was the app. I think it was the website. I had to go through the desktop version and get it from the website. So shout out to, Foot Locker for dropping these. Shout out for Nike for dropping these, and shout out, LeBron for dropping these. These are definitely one of the toughest shoes to come out all year. It's just, whew. All right, y'all. Coming in at that number 7 spot is the Air Jordan 1 Bread or Band, however you want to call it, 85 high. These are nuts. These are incredible. How they got the shape going, how they're trying to just fine tune that OG shape. They did the whole drop for the shoe was probably the best overall drop for any shoe that they've done all year. Just the hype behind it that Jordan Brand did for this shoe. So I know it's going to get scary whenever they drop to the Chicago's. But man, coming in at that number 7 spot, I have the Bread 85 high fire shoe. This is one of the best retros they've done in years or ever when it comes to just retroing a shoe, just from shape, just from everything they did with it, release, storyline, the actual drop itself. So yeah, I got this coming in at the number 7 spot. This is 7, I think. All right, y'all. The last shoe before I get into my top 5 sneakers of 2025. I had to put this shoe on the list, y'all. This shoe is, oh man. This is arguably one of the greatest LeBrons ever constructed, ever made. They just feel special. And I did pay resale for these, but I sold some stuff to get my hands on these. These are the LeBron 23 Uncharted. This is to celebrate, commemorate LeBron's, passing, being the highest scorer in the NBA ever, passing that 40K threshold. These are insane, y'all. I'm sorry. It beats a lot of, and like if these other 5 shoes weren't here, this would clearly be sneaker of the year. These went crazy when they dropped, and they still going crazy. Mugs, these were super limited, and I actually hit these on. I paid resale, but I did it from eBay. So shout out to that verification app. Shout out to the seller for getting his hands on these and selling them to me in my size. So I got them for a pretty good price. But yeah, I definitely got the LeBron 23 Uncharted at the number 6 spot, and it is very well deserved. If like these other 5 shoes didn't drop this year, this shoe would be my number 1 sneaker for 2025. All right, y'all, we're getting into the top 5 sneakers of 2025. And for the most part, I think a lot of people will agree with my top 5, except for probably one sneaker. But this is my list. So I really think these are the 5 best sneakers to come out in 2025, especially in my opinion. And I'll explain why here in a second. But as we get into these top 5 sneakers of 2025, y'all tell me down below what y'all's top 5 sneakers of 2025 are, or your top 10 sneakers of 2025. I want to hear from y'all. And before we get into it, thank y'all for checking out the channel. But let's go. Let's get into this number 5 sneaker, and it is one that I believe that a lot of people will have in their top 5. And this is the Air Jordan 5 reimagined black metallic. And man, these are fantastic. I love these. They killed this shoe. And if you take away all the hype and all the, collabs and all the other stuff, and you think about GR sneakers of 2025, this Jordan 5 is probably everyone's number 1 sneaker of 2025 if you take away all the hype of all the other releases from 2025. This shoe is phenomenal. The quality is perfect. They got this right, and I love that I got this shoe for retail. It was actually one of the first 2 shoes that I picked up for the whole year. It was these and the Kobe 9 Inspiration. But these are, was it the Inspiration? I know it was a Kobe 9. But yeah, this is definitely dope. One of the best sneakers to come out of 2025. And like I said, a lot of people probably got this at number 1. But it is in my top 5. I love this shoe. It is in my top 5. And y'all tell me what y'all think is going to take number 1. The Air Jordan 5 or an Air Jordan 4? Y'all drop that down in the comments below. What shoe ruled 2025? For me, it's clearly the Air Jordan 5 had more sneakers than the Air Jordan 4. But we'll keep going with it. All right, y'all. Coming in at that number 4 spot, I got the Air Jordan 4 Brick by Brick. This shoe is amazing. This shoe is probably a lot of the website sneaker of the year, a lot of the internet sneaker of the year. This shoe is phenomenal. The quality, superb. The story, superb. Like, the materials is just insane, out of this world, superb. This is a fire Air Jordan 4. It is one of, like I said, it's very creative. And I don't think this is like magic in a bottle. Every now and then Jordan Brand, like remember when the Shatter backboards originally released? That's kind of that feel that I get when these Brick by Bricks came out. People, it was just something different at the time, and people loved it, if that makes sense. So I love this shoe. I got a lot of respect for this shoe. I got this coming in at the number 4 spot. And just the Air Jordan 4 Brick by Brick. I feel like it was definitely a major collab. Very loved this year. All right, y'all. Coming in at that number 3 spot is the Air Jordan 4 White Cement. This is my favorite OG Air Jordan 4 colorway of all time. And I love this shoe. Jordan Brand killed it with this. They got the shape right. The quality's good. The splatter on the Nike Air is an amazing touch. At one point in the year, this was my number 1 sneaker of 2025. And I really love this shoe. I think Jordan Brand killed this shoe. They murdered this shoe. I love it. I think I had it ranked 3 in my top 4 Air Jordan sneakers of 2025, but I kept going back and forth, and I was like, yo, I gotta put these back on top. I love this shoe. It's a classic. And that's what I love about my top 5. It is really coming down in between a battle of 4s and 5s, and it's also turning into a battle of classic OGs versus like hype and kind of newer, like themes that aren't from the original Jordan era, which would be more closer to stuff that I grew up in because I wasn't born until 95. So this is very dope to see the shoe come out in 2025 and for it to be so high up in my list. And I have it at that number 3 spot. And like I said, I love the shoe. Jordan Brand killed it. It's one of the best retros they've ever done. So shout out to Jordan Brand. The only thing I wish they would have changed is gave me like the little metal hang tag so I could take the Nike Air off, the Nike tag off. That's the only thing I would have changed about this release, is if they would have gave me that so I can wear it and have the option to wear it or not. That's the only thing I would have changed about this release. But yeah, this is one of the best Air Jordan 4s to ever be made. So yeah. All right, y'all. Coming in at the number 1 and the number 2 spot. I am struggling very much so with this decision. This is, to me, the ultimate battle of sentimentality mixed with hype, mixed with, Air Jordan 4 versus Air Jordan 5. This is tough for me. It comes down to a retro that dropped in like years ago to the first ever Air Jordan collab that's ever, that was ever done with the Jordan 4 undefeated. So this is tough, y'all. At first, I swore I was going to come in and have the undefeated at 1. But then I start looking in the box and I pull these both out the box and I'm kind of just like staring at them. I'm like, which one do I put at 1? Which one do I put at 2? And for me, this is very difficult. So I might not have a 1 and I might not have a 1 and a 2, because right now I love the Fire Red 5. This is amazing. This is, to me, the greatest retro that they've ever made. Like, they got the tongue right. They got the color red right. They got decent leather on the Air Jordan 5s. The Nike Air on the back is perfect. It's the first time it's ever come out with the Nike Air retroed. And it's got the 23 stitch perfect too. And the shape is perfect. So it's kind of hard for me to choose between these two shoes. And then this Air Jordan 4 undefeated. It's an undefeated that we were able to get our hands on in 2025 with Nike Air on the back. This is insane. Like, this is the greatest year of sneakers ever. And it's to the point now that I cannot decide between a shoe that is, a super classic OG that they got perfect, and then against a shoe that we never thought we would ever get our hands on in a collab with its own new twist to it with that Nike Air on the back. So I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't pick between these two shoes for 2025. I love them both, and I can make a strong argument for them both. I might slightly sentimentally be leaning more towards the Jordan 5, but this was the ultimate year of Jordan 4 versus Jordan 5. You had hype, you had OGs, you had classics. It's just, this is what the greatest year of sneakers ever. And I think these are the two best shoes to come out of 2025 when it comes to getting an OG right and then to giving us something new. And when I say something new, it's new to a lot of us because this shoe was unattainable. And now a lot of people are able to get their hands on it. And even now the resale's not going crazy for this shoe. So the undefeated, it's in between these two shoes. These are the two best shoes of 2025. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Sorry that I couldn't come to an easy conclusion at the end, but thank y'all for rocking with me. 2025 has been a great year for my channel. I only expected to get like maybe, because last year I only had like 80 subscribers, and this year to end the year off with over 2,500 subscribers. I know I didn't get to my goal of 5,000, but I just want to say thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys for all you've done and, watching the videos and subscribing to the channels. I'm going to go away for a while, but I will see y'all in 2026. So thank y'all for, watching the channel. And y'all, like I said, down below in the comments, y'all tell me how y'all feeling, and y'all tell me what y'all think the sneaker of the year is of 2025. Y'all be blessed, and I pray y'all have a strong 2026.